Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the latest game we have in the Pokemon franchise, and with the new DLC coming out this fall, I decided it's a good time to talk about what happened to this game. This game was supposed to be something big, a long-awaited revamp of how we play Pokemon games. The first new open-world Pokemon game with 3 different playable storylines, with of course new Pokemon, new ways to explore, and terrestrialization. But you probably know by now that this game didn't meet expectations whatsoever. Scarlet and Violet could have been potentially the greatest Pokemon game to this day, but for many reasons it wasn't. So what happened, and what should have been done differently? In this video, I will be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't played the game, you have been warned. And if you enjoy watching, make sure to subscribe and comment down below what game I should talk about next. Let's start off with the most obvious part of what went wrong: the visuals and the gameplay. One of the most important things in a video game is the way it looks, and this game doesn't look great. Parts of the map look super bright and washed out. For example, the Academy. For me, it just doesn't look that great. Game Freak tried to make a more detailed art style for this game, but unfortunately, the Switch just can't handle it. Everything looks so bright and it looks super washed, it just doesn't look good. Not only some things are an eyesore to look at, in the beginning of the game, the Switch could not handle some of the cutscenes. Like, bro is literally sitting down in 2 frames per second. I don't know what to tell you. The animations and cutscenes are a lot higher quality than previous games, however, we still have to sit here and watch them mouth the words. It's super awkward watching these cutscenes where they just mouth the words, and there's no excuse to not have voice acting. This is the highest grossing video game franchise ever. They try to go for a realistic art style. At that point, just add voice acting. It could have been so much better, but instead we're just sitting here watching people move their mouths. And some of these cutscenes are obviously rushed. Like, they talk to each other and then just emote to show their expression. Like, what is this? The visuals and animations aren't as high quality as they should be, and unfortunately this just brings the game down even further. For the gameplay, however, it's not that bad. This is Pokemon's first free roam game where you can choose to complete any of these 3 main storylines in any order. So unlike previous Pokemon games, you're free to choose to go wherever you want to go. However, I think this just goes against how Pokemon works. Normally in previous Pokemon games, parts are blocked off until you reach a high enough level with your Pokemon or beat a gym leader or something along those lines. Pokemon games used to do that so you wouldn't run into high level Pokemon without being prepared for it. But now in this game, you're free to go wherever you want to go, and you have no idea what level these Pokemon are, so you just travel and you have to figure it out yourself. They easily could have just counteracted this by including the level, the area, and gym is at. But let's just talk about the open world experience itself. I can't say that it's bad, but it's not good. Overall, roaming isn't that bad. However, when it comes to certain parts of the world, the Switch just can't handle it. For example, when you start traveling on water, your Switch takes a big hit and you start playing the game at 15 frames per second. And also, the draw distance is kind of terrible, so you can't see more than like a few feet in front of you. And on top of that, sometimes Pokemon don't like to load in, so they look like polygons sometimes. Everything just looks like a bunch of pixels. The shadows are absolutely terrible. This art style is not meant to run on a Switch. Overall, the gameplay isn't that different than other games. You catch and fight Pokemon and you explore the world. The main difference is terrestrialization, and honestly, I think it's really lazy. Terrestrialization does add a lot to Pokemon battling, however, they didn't add a single Pokemon design for this new form. Other than the terrible visuals and the mid gameplay, I wanted to figure out what the main problem with this game was, and that can be summarized in one sentence: this game was rushed. I can't talk about what went wrong with this game without including that this game's launch was terrible. Seeing that we had a lack of optimization on this game's launch shows the fact that this game was extremely rushed. All the faults in this game can be all tied back to the fact that the game developers did not take their time making this game. I can't help but wonder what kind of game this could have been if the game developers spent more time working on this game. Even though this game runs on the Switch, the game could have ran and looked a lot better if they spent more time optimizing on this game. In the future, I hope the next Pokemon generation will be running on a stronger console and with a game that isn't extremely rushed. But at least for now, we have a new DLC coming out later this year that's going to show us new Pokemon and new stories to experience. And as always, thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments down below what you guys want from a new Pokemon generation.